The music news for the streets, the music news for your beats, the news for the music stuff that you gonna need. We gon' talk about plugins, we gon' talk about gear. If it's news on this music, we gon' talk about it here. Let's go.
What up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. It's your guy, Something. Hit the keys. Here today to talk about the Sequential Take 5. I want to send a shout out to the sponsor of today's video, and that is Zounds. If you guys don't know what Zounds is a great place where you can get gear, especially if you are a musician on a budget. A lot of the gear on the site you can get without any credit check or a background check. You just got to set up a payment plan with them. This Take 5, unfortunately, is not one of those items. But let's go ahead and talk about the Take 5 here for a few moments. It is a 5-voice polyphonic synthesizer. Basically, I decided to get this synth because I have a few synths and I was wondering what I could add to my collection. I currently have an ASM Hydra synth. I have a Yamaha Modi X. I have an Arturia Micro Freak, and I also have a Donner B1. So I was wondering what synthesizer could I get that would fit in with that selection, and I really did want an analog synth. So I decided to watch all the videos on the internet. Yes, sir, I've done that. I've watched every Take 5 video that you can find. I also watched a bunch of videos on some other synthesizers, but I ultimately settled on this Take 5 because I thought it was everything that I need. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I'm not a serious keyboard player, so I'm not very, fire on the keys or nothing like that. I more so use synthesizers for sound design and building presets and doing stuff like that. So for me, this was just a great synthesizer. So as we take a look here at the synthesizer, it's really easy to use. As you'll see here, it has basically a per function per knob. So there's not too much diving through menus or anything like that. You can get a good sound really quick. I really think the build quality on this thing is solid. I know some people have complained about the sides because the sides are plastic, but everything else on the synth is metal. The keyboard feels nice to me as well. I don't really see the complaint about, anything about the synth, because ultimately for $1,500, you're not going to find a better polyphonic synthesizer than this. So it's like if they keep adding more stuff and more stuff to the build or whatever it is, it's going to make the synth cost more than $1,500. So the keys feel good to me, like I said before. It's got an update. So initially, it only had 128 presets. Now it has 256 presets, and it also has 256 slots for user presets as well. In this video, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna play some of the presets for you guys to hear. I'm not gonna go through a huge overview or a walkthrough or every knob. This isn't gonna be a deep depth tutorial over the Take 5 because there's plenty of those on the internet. I'm just gonna play some of the sounds for you guys. I'm gonna play a couple of the beats that I made with the synthesizer so you can hear what it sounds like in action. Some of the features of the Take 5 are that it's a 5-voice polyphonic synthesizer. It has 2 analog VCOs per voice. It has FM on the front panel, 4-pole resonant analog filter based on the Prophet 5. It has 2 5-stage envelope generators. It has a bunch of effects, including a dedicated reverb and an effects section with delay, lo-fi, phaser, distortion, and much more. It has a dedicated overdrive knob as well. There's a vintage knob to recreate analog sounds. It has 44 full-size keys that can be split into 2 performance sections, and it has a built-in 64-step sequencer and multi-mode arpeggiator. All right, guys, so now what I want to do is I want to go through some of the presets. As we go through the presets, I'll go through some of the effects, some of the stuff on the actual board, like the distortion knob, the oscillators, the sub, all that other stuff, so that you guys can kind of hear that and check that out as well. So as we look here at the board, one thing that I do love is that they have this overdrive control right here, and it really lets you drive your sound or whatever it is that you're using. That's a nice feature. It does have 2 different oscillators, and it also has a sub oscillator over here that's on the FM control. Right here, you'll see it has this nice filter cutoff. So the filter is from the Prophet 5, I believe Rev 2. So it does sound super nice. Other things that are nice about this board is that you have an arpeggiator and you have a step sequencer over here. You also have different effects. So you have a dedicated reverb right here. And then right here, you have a bunch of different effects that you can use, and it shows them right on the board. So it's cool. You got everything from distortion to lo-fi, a bridge bucket delay, just a bunch of cool stuff in here, phaser. Now, I will say this, the effects may not be the absolute greatest on earth, but they're decent and you can get by with them if it's all that you have. So you have different controls too. So what's nice is you can turn your velocity level off on both your envelopes, all your presets and stuff down here. So the first preset that you're gonna hear, I absolutely love this preset. It just sounds like this. So it sounds beautiful to me. I was absolutely in love. As soon as I heard that first preset, I was like, oh yeah, I'm about to love this synthesizer. So again, pretty solid synthesizer. We'll just go ahead and go to some more other presets. Now, what's also solid about this thing is, like, let's say I want to start messing with FM, because this preset right here is fire for FM. So once again, this is what it sounded like. Now, once I turn the FM on this one right here, it's going to sound like. So that sounds pretty fire. And then you can start messing with the oscillators and all that other stuff too as well. So you can make this super cinematic sound really quickly. Over here in the oscillators, you'll notice that with the oscillators, you have sine, you have saw, you have square, and then you have a pulse. So that's pretty nice that you get a sine wave with this. That's probably my favorite wave to start with anyway. But with that same preset, we can start messing with some of the shapes. So that's fire. And then we also have this filter right here. So just a fire sound. So let's go ahead and go to the next preset. It's got some really nice EPs in here. Another thing that I like right here is that you have this low split button. So on this low split, basically it's going to take everything down here, down an octave. So as you see, if I push this button, if I go down an octave, if I go down 2 octaves, but it leaves all this normal. So we can go up an octave and, you know, it makes it so that the board can do more. Even though it's just 44 keys, it makes it feel like it's more because you have all the low notes down there. Let's go ahead and listen to some more presets. So that's a pretty solid preset because it's like an evolving sound there for you. So that one's cool because it's got that little evolving noise that goes with it, that little high-pitched noise to go with the E-piano. Definitely solid. So another thing that I like about this is the arpeggiator. Boom, you can turn it on really easily. Just click that button and now it's on. You've got different modes over here that you can mess with. So you can go up and down, you can go random, you can go assign, you can go down, you can go up. So it's pretty nice. We'll hit random here for a second. You can also make it go up an octave. So we'll go ahead and make it go up and down, but you can make it go up to 3 octaves. And then you can also hit this repeat right here and it'll repeat some notes for you. So not bad, not a bad feature there. We'll go ahead and keep going on the presets. So we got this brass. Then if you tap bank and then boom, it'll take you over to the next bank of presets right here. I really love that preset. I'm not even gonna hold y'all. I'm not even gonna lie to y'all. That's one of my favorites in here. So what's nice too is this filter that I was talking about earlier. This is a bandpass noise, but you can turn the filter up. So you'll notice that this one has a phaser on. You can come over here and you have all your effects. So you can just simply scroll through. You see as I'm scrolling through, it's showing you all the different effects. So you get lo-fi, you get a rotary speaker. And then you get a whole bunch more. So you're gonna get ring modulation, you're gonna get distortion, you're gonna get a high pass filter, a phaser, a flanger. And then you're also gonna get chorus. So you get a bunch of different effects. You get tape 1 and you get tape 2. You get a bridge bucket delay, and then you get a regular delay as well. Someone's got a solid delay there on it. So a very solid 808 there that you can get to start with. I probably should have messed with this already, but there's this overdrive over here, which is a nice feature too as well. So I'm just gonna hit the overdrive as I hit this 808. So you can hear it adds a whole bunch of drive there, but without spiking the volume too much. Another solid effect here on the board. All right, so I've got FL Studio queued up. As you see here, I basically recorded all these sounds in off the Take 5. So all the sounds came from the Take 5 except for some synthwave kick, snare, and hi-hats. So the beat's definitely not all the way mixed down. I didn't throw any third-party effects on there. No EQs, no reverbs, nothing like that, because I just wanted you to hear what the beat was going to sound like coming straight out the Take 5. So again, it's not all the way mixed down, but let's go. So that was the first beat I ever made out of the Take 5. Sounds like an old school 80s synthwave beat. I know it could have been better, could have been worse. But the next beat I have for you guys is going to be a house beat, just to let you guys hear that you can do a little variation and do different stuff with this synthesizer. So I've got that beat pulled up here in FL Studio as well. And this beat just basically sounds like this. So then on this beat right here, all the melodic sounds came from the Take 5, obviously. And then I used a kick, a hi-hat, and a snare from a drum pack. And then I used a percussion loop. It came from Life, which is a plugin. And that's kind of how that whole thing came together. So basically, that's what I got for you guys today in this Take 5 demonstration. What are my final thoughts on the Take 5? I do think that it is a very solid synthesizer. I think that it's good for anybody, really. I think that it would be a really good beginner synth if you had the budget. If you don't have the budget, I wouldn't recommend breaking your bank to go get it. But if you have the budget and you want a simple synthesizer that's going to sound good, it's going to be easy to use. It's not going to be too complex. You're not going to have too many menus to go through. It is 5 voices, so make sure you remember that. But it overall is just a good synth. It's built well. It's a sequential, so you know it's solid. I want to send a shout out again to the sponsor of today's video, and that is Zounds. If you're going to pick one of these up, I'll leave the link for that below. You can get it there. Make sure if you guys do like this content, though, you drop a whole elbow on that like button, hit subscribe and that notification bell so every time we bring you guys a new video, you can be the first to see. Appreciate you guys' time as always, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.
Some, hit the keys.